Hey, this is Indoor Garden 83. This is an update on the white Shahtoot Mulberry. Had this tree for over a year, or probably about a year, and I really haven't got a large harvest off this plant yet. Like, I've gotten maybe 3 fruits the first time, maybe like 18 the second, and I was trying to figure out what was going on, but I figured out like maybe 2 weeks ago what was going on, and it was because I wasn't paying attention, but the rootstock was growing that it was grafted on down here, and it was huge. I thought it was just another branch, but it started fruiting, and the fruit was purple. So I cut that off, and then as soon as I cut that off, I started getting fruit everywhere. Like heavy clusters of fruit are starting to form, like everywhere where it's starting to push out leaves. Like right here, starting to get like clusters of like 4. Now over here, these are just starting to come out, but when they poke out, when the leaves pop out, probably in like a week or so, you'll have fruit on all these little nodes, these little green nodes. Look up here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like it starts popping out leaves like that at the nodes. And see those haven't opened either. Down here, here's another one that started opening. And then in a couple days, you'll start having fruit come out. But yeah, look at this. So it's pretty nice to finally see this because I've been waiting on this. I've heard that white Shahtoot is supposed to produce a whole bunch, and the fruit's supposed to be really big, kind of like Pakistan. Pakistan, no, that cooks Pakistan. I might get one of those one day because that fruit looks like really big. Even though these are big, I feel like the purple Shahtoots look bigger, or purple Pakistan, they look bigger. Then over here, here's a cluster of some. These were some of the first ones that started forming after I cut off that other plant. Crazy thing is, this tree wasn't even really fruiting when the other plant was fruiting 2 weeks ago. The purple mulberry, it wasn't. This one even wasn't even fruiting. Maybe it had a few fruit on here, and these are probably it. And then, like I said, as soon as I cut that off, it finally started growing. Like forever, I'm waiting on a lot of these nodes to pop. And I was trying to figure out like what is going on. And that's what was going on. It was because of that rootstock. But once I did that, it just took off. So but yeah, I'm gonna show you the Jan's Best Dwarf Ever Bearing Mulberry too. Because that one, even though the berries don't get as big, it's really productive. That's why I'm hoping that white Shahtoot will end up like that. Now I just harvested a whole bunch of fruit off of it, and I pulled all the fruit and all the leaves off maybe a week and a half ago. And I did that because I pruned it. I tip pruned it too. I'm trying to get as much fruit as possible. Once I let it get to a certain size, I'll probably leave it at that size, and I'll just keep stripping the leaves off every time I want it to refruit. So every time it's done fruiting, you rip all the leaves off your tree, and then within 35, 40 days, you should have another harvest. So you can do that indefinitely. And these plants supposedly supposed to live 150 years or over 100 years for mulberries. So this is actually a really smart plant to get if you want to have fruit all year long that's high in anthocyanins, which is an antioxidant, that purple cover. But yeah, I want to show you how productive this one is. It's way more productive than the other tree right now. But like I said, that was probably my fault for that rootstock. And this is a clone. She sends out sticks, like cuttings, and you root them yourself. And this tree is not even a year old, but it don't even matter. These trees are like this. These dwarf everbearings, and then this one. Sometimes the fruit is. It's always, to me, it's always bigger than the ones you get from like Lowe's and Home Depot. The trees, the dwarf everbearing. This is called Jan's Best. I got fruittreeaddict.com. It's from a YouTuber named Jan Doling, Doolin. First name Jan. But yeah, this fruit's good. Like we actually been, I wish I would have did a video between now and the last time I did a video, because we were eating this fruit, and it's purple, and some of them can get up to like an inch long, so that's pretty decent, especially on a dwarf, because dwarfs be like a fourth of an inch, like especially the ones because I had a tree I had got from Lowe's, and it was maybe a fourth of an inch, and sometimes you would get up to like maybe a half inch, maybe, fruit. But even then, the fruit wasn't consistent. Like sometimes it would be like really sweet, and sometimes you wouldn't taste nothing. It don't matter if it was black or not. But with these, they're sweet when they're purple, like when they're all the way purple. But when you let them go black, these are always sweet. And this tree is so easy to take care of. All you gotta do is just water it. You just gotta water it and fertilize it. I put some azomite down here. I put mealworm frass down here, and I think I put it's one of those organic fertilizers from Home Depot. I think it was Vigoro or something like that. But put that in there, and then my old leaves from my mulberries, I just put down at the bottom and let it break down into the soil, and eventually you'll have really good dirt. I've been doing that with my other trees, like my guava tree that I've had for a long time. I just take leaves from other trees and just put them down there at the base of the dirt, and then let them break down. And then I can use mealworm frass, or I haven't used this in a while, but I use fish emulsion. Like I used that probably 2 months ago, but I've really gotten away from it, because when you start building up your soil, you don't really need it. Like I said, mealworm frass is really the big thing. And sometimes I'll use like forgot what's it called, Dr. Earth and Vigoro, and you got Happy Frog and stuff like that. You can use stuff like that, but you don't really have to. Just put down your old compost, or you can put down leaves, and it'll break down into fertilizer eventually. Really. But little quick last view, like a whole view of this tree. I might have to spray some moringa extract on this tree, because this deals with like humidity issues sometimes, and your leaves will sometimes it'll get yellow on them. I mean, some people will probably put like fungicides. You can do that too, but I'm trying to keep it as natural as possible. So just get moringa, which is natural, organic moringa, and spray it on here. And that's it. Mix it with some water and spray it on here. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a really good harvest on this tree. Like I said, I can't wait till the white Shahtoot is like this, or better than this, because this is really nice. So I would definitely advise people to get this tree, or get a dwarf everbearing. But like I said, the most common dwarf everbearings that you see everywhere, they're like at every store, even online, the berries are small. They're like really small. They're like a fourth of this size usually, or maybe this. Sometimes these will be like half an inch, between a half inch to a full inch, usually. When a dwarf everbearing, the normal ones are like between a fourth to maybe a third, 3/4 of an inch, or half an inch. Usually they're like between a fourth and a half. usually. So I'm telling you, these are really worth getting. I'm gonna try some of our other varieties too. I know it's another dwarf everbearing. I think she has called Tice or something, but I don't think it produces as crazy as this one. But and then World's Best, but I heard that one's bad. It's not consistent, but the berries are huge. They're way bigger than this one. But I might try that Tice one day and see how that works. Or I might get a Pakistani. Really, I'll see how that white Shahtoot does. But this is Indoor Gardener 83 with an update. Hope you guys have a great day.